Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and it's known as BlakeGirl92, and in this video I am going to be talking about how I got into roller coasters, what parks, and my experiences with every park I've been to. Let's get started. I was 6 years old in the year 1988, and so I went to Geauga Lake with my family. And so when I went there, I was riding a lot of other rides, but then just as we were about to leave, my dad then asked me, would you like to try a roller coaster? And I was like, sure, because I never rode a roller coaster and I didn't know what they were like. So my dad took me on. So we rode the Big Dipper, and as soon as the Big Dipper was over, my dad then asked, how did you like it? And I joked saying, you drove too fast. So after Geauga Lake was sold to Six Flags, I don't remember a lot of rides I rode there, other than I rode the Roadrunner. And so I remember there was this ride called the Batman Flight. It was a big roller coaster, and I remember I wanted to ride it. And Mom was like, "Honey, you are way too little. You can't possibly ride that." And I just remember I was crying and throwing a tantrum because I wanted to ride with my mom. My nana, who happened to be there with us, took me to a Batman show with my siblings and I. And so when I got to it, I remember I was sitting there pouting as Mom was riding. When Mom was done, we then headed home, and I just remember I was very mad that I didn't get to ride a roller coaster. After Geauga Lake closed down, I've been to many county fairs to ride their rides, but nothing ever felt the same as riding a roller coaster. And I just remember I was whining to my dad, Dad, I love county fairs and all, but their rides are lame, and I really want to ride a roller coaster again. And Dad's like, well, I'll just take you to Cedar Point, for they got better roller coasters and better rides than a county fair. In 2014, when he, my mom, and my little sister went, we pulled in, and I was just amazed at how big the park was. The first ride I rode there was Blue Streak. And I just remember when my dad, mom, and my sister were on it, I literally bounced off my seat, screaming, Mama! And so, while the ride was over, I had fun. I was telling Dad I want to try another roller coaster. Just as we were walking Corkscrew, and my dad then saw Dragster, and he said to me, would you ride this? And Dad, knowing he couldn't because of his blood pressure, and I said, Dad, as long as you don't scream like a little girl on top. But we never did. When we got to Corkscrew, I was then sitting down on my seat. Just as we were about to go upside down, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I passed out or if I just blacked out and I just woke up and I was just like, what happened? Because I didn't remember very much of it. Once it was over, we then rode Witch's Wheel. And I remember my phone was in my pocket. And I didn't think about bringing cargo pants or anything because I didn't know how Cedar Point did their rides. So, when I got to Witch's Wheel, I remember I was like, oh gosh, help. I was like, oh God, help me. and I was up by myself in the car, and I'm holding onto the thing and my phone at the same time, fearing that my phone was going to fly out of my pocket. But I managed to hang on and ride. Once the witch's wheel was over, I then wanted to take a small little break and wanted to learn more about the park. So my mom took my little sister to Gemini, and my dad then showed me around the back area and told me memories that he had when he was little. And when they were done with Gemini, just as we were about to leave, I told my dad I wanted to ride Windseeker with my Windseeker. My dad then looked at me and said, "Honey, that's 301 feet." And I said, "I don't care, Dad. I want to ride it." So, so my mom and I got in line and rode it. And I remember Mom and I, we were very amazed at how high it not only was, but how high you could see the views of the lake, downtown Sandusky a little bit, most of the park, and especially the island. And so we were done, and we headed home. And I asked my dad, "Can I go back next year?" And Dad's like, "We'll see." In 2017, a year after my dad passed away, I remember I was very sad because after losing him, it won't feel the same riding a roller coaster without him. So my mom then told me and my little sister her boyfriend that she was dating at the time was going to take me and her and my little sister to Cedar Point. When we got there, the first ride we rode with him was Blue Streak, just like it was with my dad. This time I did not bounce. So when I was done with Blue Streak, we then wanted to head for my ride. We then rode the my ride, and we were having a great time. And I was like, this is so much fun. We were then riding other rides. And soon as I was done with my yogurt that I just finished, my mom then said, "We're all going to ride Gemini as a family." Me, I was like, I don't know if I want to ride Gemini. I just finished the yogurt. I don't want to throw up. So we rode Gemini. I was like, oh, please help me. Oh God, please help me not throw up. And as soon as it went down the hill, I screamed, "Oh my God," because it was going so high and up. And as soon as we were done riding, I was like, oh, not only was that a fun ride, but I didn't throw up. So they rode the witch's wheel without me while I was trying to get a picture of it. As soon as they were done, we then took my mom's boyfriend to a haunted house over by Scrambler. And so we went went in, and we enjoyed it. Once we were done with Cedar Point, I then started playing the arcade. And before then, I got my squid hat from a game where a guy guesses either your height or your age. So I got my squid hat from him, and I continued playing the arcade. Once we were done with the arcade, it was starting to rain, and Cedar Point was already closing, so everybody had to leave the park. I then told my mom that was so much fun, I want to go back. In 2018, I didn't go back to Cedar Point, but I did go to a new park called Kennywood in Pennsylvania. When I got there, I was just like, what kind of rides do they have? Well, they didn't have very many coasters at Cedar Point. I then tried to ride what I could. When my mom then said she was going to take my phone so I didn't lose it while she was taking my uh, her boyfriend's daughter and her daughter to the Kittyland with the boy I babysit, while me and her boyfriend were then riding other rides. So I rode what I could, and I remember I rode 2 coasters. I rode the Little Phantom with the boy I babysat, and I didn't. It was okay of a ride, but it was just not my kind of ride. Then I rode the Jackrabbit, and I just remember it was so dark I couldn't tell if I was gonna go upside down or if I was gonna go straight head up to a dive. So once we left Kennywood, I then said, Kennywood was alright, but I would much rather go to Cedar Point, because I at least know that area well. In 2019, my mom then said we were all going to Cedar Point. So my mom said if we want, we could bring a friend. So my sister brought her friend, and I brought my friend. And she was bringing her boyfriend as well. Just as we got up there, they were announcing that they were doing gold passes. And Mom's like, with the unlimited visits and the discounts on food and merchandise, and that covers the parking, let's all get one. So as soon as I got my gold pass scanned, I was very excited to have one. But then my mom and her boyfriend and my sister and her friend broke their ways. My mom then told me before she left, there is no use to hear while I ride. Like, you must stay together at all times. So I told my friend, who is not much into roller coasters, why don't I just show you around the park and we'll just see what we can ride. That's nice and easy. So we rode the Ocean Motion because we actually got in line, and I was like, I don't think they'll excuse you. I mean, maybe they will, but even then, Mom told me I can't leave you. So you're just gonna have to deal with this. So she rode Ocean Motion with no problem. Even though she was scared of heights, I was just happy that she at least didn't freak out or pass out. Just as I was walking to the midway with her, the Halloween parade was about to start, and I didn't know it was starting, so I walked to the side with my friend, and we watched it. When they were done, I told her, let's go find some ride that you can at least handle. So we rode Scrambler. Once Scrambler was over, I said, well, let's go to a haunted house, since you were nice enough to ride a ride with me. So When we got to the haunted house, I told her, just stay by me. Just, just do what you can. And so when that was over, I then asked my mom would she and her boyfriend be willing to ride with us with the Cadillac car. So they did. I rode with my mom's boyfriend, and my mom rode with my friend. Just as my mom's boyfriend and I finished, we then were waiting for mom and my friend. Just immediately after I got off, I was looking to see if my friend were getting off, but then I saw the crew running. They had to go get them because somehow my friend got stuck. I was trying my best not to laugh, but then when she got to the station, I asked her, how on earth did you get stuck? I never heard anybody having that issue before. We then walked around and showed her around a little more on the backside. Then we took her to the arcade, since that's all she wanted, and we got lots of cool stuff on there. When we were done with Cedar Point, we then took my friend home, and I was just like, I can't wait to use my Gold Pass next year. In 2020, just as COVID was about to affect the park, I remember I was very, very, very sad when I saw the Cedar Point video of Jason McClellan announcing that they had to wait to open again because of COVID. But there was a happiness part of the day too, because my mom just got married on the day they would have opened. And so when they did open, it was early July, and my mom was just like, I don't know about wearing a mask on a 90-degree day. That doesn't seem right. Knowing it was not Cedar Point's fault. But it was just too unbearable for a mask, Mom would say. So we went in that fall, and this time I took my other sister and my little baby niece with us. And the same sister I rode with. And of course, we all had a good time. We then started heading to ride some rides that everybody could ride. In 2021, after I was in 2021, I then went there in July, and it was a pretty humid day, but I didn't care. Although some of my family was complaining about it, but then I rode Maverick with my sister's boyfriend, and while my sister, who's not really into roller coasters, she just waited for us while my mom and my stepdad went to go ride Gemini, and my other little sister didn't join us because she had to work. I just remember when I was on Maverick, I was screaming and laughing at the same time because it was such a fun ride. When I got to the station, I was just like, oh man, that was fun. After Maverick, I then was like, I got to sit in the back seat, and that was like awesome. So I told my mom, why don't we ride my ride together? Just as we were getting ready to ride my ride, she and I got the front seat because some lady was waiting for someone, so we took her front seat from her. When we were done with my ride, I was like, this is the best day I've had yet because I got the front seat and back seat for the first time here at Cedar Point. When I was done for the day, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go back. While I was waiting for a friend of mine to see if he wanted to go, he never said he wanted to. Or he said he wanted to, but he never got to it. So I just went with my family in the fall, and we had a good time, even though I was mad I didn't get to ride a roller coaster except for my sister's boyfriend. I didn't get to ride any because Mom was afraid of wild lines. I was just like, I don't care if I could wait. Yeah, I waited 1 hour for Maverick. I could wait another hour for any ride. I'm not in a hurry. But then, when it was done, I then renewed my pass, and I said, I'll just have to wait for you next year. So, now I'm just gonna wait for this year, and I'm gonna continue riding, and I'm gonna hope I can ride for many years from now. And I hope to have a good time, and maybe try some new roller coasters. And the first thing I want to try is Steel Vengeance. I'm like, I don't care how high, I don't care how slow, I just want fun. I'll see you guys later.